I don't feel any apprehension about making this decision to rent this house. To me, it doesn't feel like a forfeit of promise or like, we're giving up.
Yeah.
To me, like, God can do anything instantaneously.
Yeah.
But also, like, he's also a master chess player, so like he could be putting a lot of pieces in position right now that we don't know of. So
yeah, definitely.
Anyways,
kind of feels like of all the places we've looked at, this is like the best price for the best amount of space and everything that it offers.
Yeah.
You know, the people that are here all day, every day, they can actually live here and move around freely in their space.
Yeah. Well,
I don't love, like, the living room. That's a weird...
but, like, there's a lot of houses right around here that are weird living room spaces are weird. One house was, like, you'd have to put 6 individual chairs because it had so many nooks and crannies and walls.
That's true.
So...
I mean, we're going to basically have to do that here. Like... Maybe a love seat.
You could put a love seat at least.
Maybe on the one wall, but like it's gonna be like everybody gets their own chair.
6 recliners later.
Pile it on. It's fine. It's fine.
There will be a time and season for God to zoom things along, and until that point, which I think where we're going to church, there'll probably be an aspect that it will, as we like kind of basically submit to God in a local house. You know, in church, that God will accelerate things as we're plugging in there. And maybe it's an assumption I'm making of the Lord.
No, I agree.
Like, to me, like, I don't think the dream dies. I think it's just, like,
timing.
That takes faithfulness on our part, my part, your part, and then, like, God then has to put all these pieces together that's going to financially create that kind of opportunity.
Yeah.
So to me, I hope it doesn't come across as like, oh, I'm waiting for God to take his chance. I'm like, I also know how God works. Like,
absolutely.
Like Nehemiah like waited and prayed for days, and then Joseph was in prison for 17 years. I hope that's not the case. Like for me, you know, but like there's plenty of instances in scripture where like, I think it was a sermon from Pastor Vlad, is the guy in Washington, where it's like there's suddenlies, but then there's also like in the meantime the Lord will just be like, do this, do that, as he's moving all these pieces in place. So like I don't know what pieces he's trying to move, but I'm like, I don't know, he's doing something.
Yeah, he's moving
in here first for us.
Yeah. And also like one thing that's really important right now is that our kids are able to kind of breathe, have room to run in the space. The yard in this, it's like
a half an acre.
It's a half an acre.
And then if you add the other...
And then you get all this, plus it's got a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
so
but I was like,
great.
I think there's probably other kids in the neighborhood based on where it's located at.
Yeah, there is.
And if we did send our kids to school, say if we did do that, it's right over there.
It is
like
close.
A half mile, if that.
Which means that there's just a lot of kids around
here. There should be kids, right. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if we ever pulled that trigger just to say, like, hey, I don't know, that's another whole thoughtful, prayerful decision. But to me, out of all the houses, this, like, felt like this is an appropriate stepping stone. Plus, the gentleman who property manages, like, in sharing our story, like, he's looking for someone that has somewhat of my skills in basic form and handyman work and stuff. And so, like, and not to give myself value, but it's like, maybe like
definitely it's work.
He loves Jesus. That's like a full connecting piece of like I can keep doing my own things and doing stuff, whatever, but like there would be curried favor.
Yeah, it's good. I think we should text that the property manager and say we'd like to put in an application.
Yep.
I would love if we could actually get in here at the beginning of April somehow. I know we can't with our apartment, but that would be incredible.
Believing God for the financial boost to pay for things up
front. It
would
be so great to just kind of get out of the one a little early, because it would really help the owner here and it would help us
Yeah.
Like, just because of the timing of it all, like, it'd be really great.
I don't think the property management there, though, is going to budge on any of their
or maybe they would let us just get in a little early here.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like, the timeline that the department outlines, they're not going to give us any benefit back if we're, like, bouncing early.
Right. I'm just saying.
Oh, just being
maybe they will just not.
Like, let us.
Maybe there will be, like, we had somebody that really wanted to move in. We'll let it slide this one time. I mean, you never know. Like, things happen.
Just moving a couch over.
Or, like, maybe they would just, I don't know. Maybe they would, maybe the owner would let us just start moving things over because we have all those boxes. It's like, we could just move our empty boxes over, move our boxes over to this.
Move all our empty boxes.
Like,
just the box. Don't fill them up.
Even to just not have to do the storage unit. That's like $160.
180, whatever it is. Yeah.
Just
whatever it is.
I mean, just to, like, if they know we're moving in, we've signed the lease.
Yeah.
Maybe they would let us just dump everything in the garage.
That'd be huge.
That'd be really huge. That would be a huge blessing.
That'd be massive. Well, let's just see if they even want to have us in here.
Yeah. I mean, they seemed a little bit desperate because they texted me.
Well,
after we had already looked at it, like, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They must have had good applicants.
Yeah.
Which is hard because, like, financially we're like.
Well, they said that the owner would be willing to let us stay in here
a little.
If it meant that.
And that's like one of the hardest things to be in this position. It's totally fine, but just like we're really good people. It's just like,
well, they know it. That's why he texted me.
I know. I'm just like, we're just trying to get ourselves somehow found out, like, established.
He completely understood why, and that's why he texted, because we were like, we're solid people. We're actually nice.
We're just solid people,
and we take care of things.
And we own 2 houses we rent out. It's just weird life circumstance.
All right, that's that.
Any
final thoughts?
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Birds are pretty.
That's it. No, I was just letting it hang for fun.
I was like, birds.
No, it's like that one. There's like a movie said when my grandfather always used to say. And nothing's ever said.
I was waiting for it too. What did he?
That's the comedic punchline.
I know, but I fell for it. Tonight, we put in our application for the rental house, so that's exciting and pretty cool. They actually wanted us to fill out an application even though, we didn't fit all their most ideal criteria. Probably means that we're gonna get that place. So we'll see. Good morning. Today is Sunday and I just got up a bit ago. I did not get enough sleep. I've been really struggling with getting the right amount of sleep for whatever reason. Sometimes my brain just wakes up at after 6 hours, Here I am though. I'm feeling good. I didn't get enough sleep. So later today I will be probably feeling that a bit. I wanted to just share a little something. I'm not going to share a ton about my health on here. I just don't want to, but I will say one thing that's been very different is that I have been eating super clean. And so at breakfast time, it's really crazy because I wake up and I drink this, I basically have to drink something to get these extra drops in. They help with nutrients and minerals and stuff. And so I do that, and then I've added to it this nettle tea, stinging nettle tea, and some lemon to help stabilize blood sugar and stuff. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting thing. I started eating shrimp at breakfast time. I actually really enjoy it. But now it's very challenging right at this moment because I've been having some issues like with my literal stomach. That's been going on for the last like 6 to 8 months, and there seem to be these trigger moments. And so I've been working with this functional medicine doctor to figure that out, and they actually just a couple days ago, I have a different focus now for my food, whereas before it was like a high focus on protein, and the protein is still there, but they're wanting me to make a shift towards, okay, like do whole foods and things that are common allergy type things, to cut back on those things too. So one of those things I have to cut out is eggs. And I am like, no, not the eggs, because I love eggs so much. So that is not my favorite. But I will survive. And if it means I'm going to come out on the end of this healed, it's worth it. So today I had shrimp and a sausage that I made. I made the seasoning for it, and it's like I don't know what the term is. Organic? It's not organic. I don't know. Grass-fed? I don't know. Whatever the pork version of that is. Had one of those. My local Sprouts had it on sale for $2, and I was very excited about that. So we got a bunch of them. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. We are just in this time frame now where Josh has quit the trash fairy job, and we are trying to figure out, income, and we're in between on housing right now, trying to figure all that out. We're doing well. By the time you see this, we'll be past this point, but if you see this, please be praying for us that the Lord would continue to open doors for us and lead us and guide us and give us creative ideas. So yeah, that's it. Bye.
Pills or energy drinks, like Anyway, good morning. Glad you're here.
Three persons in one God. We bless you and praise you for love so unspeakable, so wondrous, so mighty to save the lost and raise them to glory.
On the night he was handed over to suffering and death, our Lord Jesus Christ took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples and said, "Take, eat. This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And after supper, he took the cup of wine, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them and said, "Whenever you drink it, do this for the remembrance of me."
We're getting our evening walk in.
I'm trying to catch a firefly. Whoa. Yeah.
But there's not any fireflies out.
No, there is.
I don't see any. There will be another time, but not right now.
When will they start showing up?
I don't know. Also, drinking tea, but I have to have cinnamon after every meal. So it's kind of bizarre. So I added cinnamon to my tea, like a teaspoon of cinnamon, and it is very interesting. It actually reminds me of cinnamon flavored gum. Not bad.
Why do you have to have cinnamon after every meal?
I guess it helps regulate my blood sugar, I'm pretty sure.
So should I do it too?
If you're eating healthy, you should be okay. I'm not really sure. That's a good question. We should research it.
I'm eating decently healthy.
So, Josh right now, you can't see us very well, but he is over fixing our truck because we were praying that we would have some help with our vehicles.
And guess what? He gave us help.
There's a guy.
For only $30.
Yeah, there's a guy that lives here in the apartment complex that does car work on the side. So he is doing this work on the truck right now. This guy that lives here offered to do it for the cost of the price of the part. And $30. That's it, just $30. And Josh is like, oh my gosh, yes. So they're working on it right now. Hallelujah. What a blessing.
Like, blah, 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 doing this. And I was like, oh, how you do that? He's like, that's over here. And I'm like, ah.
Just go get the thing
'Cause
and not
it-
get charged a bunch of money.
Whoa.
Have somebody else do it. Here, watch. pull the
Seriously, thank you so much.
He's loud. And
That's awesome.
anyways,
He's working. Daddy's working, guys. No, we're just on a walk. Well, that was fun. Well, that was good timing because Josh is done working on the truck and I'm going for my evening walk. So it is really wonderful to get these walks in, and but I'm also required. Now it has become a requirement with my health stuff that every meal I go on a 20-minute walk after I eat. So I'm not complaining. It's just a change. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of adjustments with all of this, and I'm here for it. But it is like, okay, lots of changes, lots of reformatting, lots of scheduling. I did not work very much this week on my actual financially paying job because I honestly just felt so overwhelmed by all this. Like, there was so much information flying at me, and I had to kind of just take a minute and like breathe. So there, it's good. Like, it's really good. And I feel that when I learn these tools, and not just food, but like it's other things, you know, like box breathing, things like that, to make it to where your body literally comes down from all of the extra. So learning a lot about myself this week. Amazingly, I feel like I know myself very well, but I'm learning new things, and it's like, well, I gotta make some adjustments to make sure that I'm actually healing and actually taking care of the things in my life that need taken care of. So Josh was pretty thrilled to see the girls just now when I took them over to him. It was not intentional, but it was really great timing. And they just finished, and they did say that the oil pan is leaking, which is not good, but it's good to know that we are aware, and also we can fix that another day. We had some other really exciting news. We're 99% sure that we're going to be moving into this rental house, the one that we were wanting. And you know, when you go and look at like lots of different ones, you realize just how much you want the one that you first looked at. So we are feeling good about that. The property manager, he's a Christian. He's a small business type of property manager, and he likes us and we like him, and Josh actually is probably going to get some work out of the connection that's there. Josh is just really good at, like, I don't know, just doing like grunt labor. Like, he just likes to sweat. He likes, you know, just using his muscles, and you know, he's got those. So it's good that he is able to really, you know, connect with this guy. And what was really cool about it is most places around here, they require that you make 2 to 3 times the amount of your rent. And like, quite honestly, we are not making that, not even close. And so it's really amazing that a renter would be willing to work with us. And when we first set out to find somewhere to stay, to move into, we basically were like, we just need to like meet the person in person. Like, we need to meet them because we're very reliable. We don't miss rent payments. We've never missed a payment. Like, we are solid people. And sometimes you can just be a number on a page, but in this scenario we're not, because we were able to like meet the guy in person, and he got like, oh, you know, there's a good sense about you. You guys you're responsible and reliable, and you clean up after yourself and things like that. So we are very excited and very grateful. He got all of our rental application stuff. Today was the last bit of it. And he basically said, yeah, as long as your rental history is clear when it goes through the background check, then I think we can work with this. And we were just like, yes, hallelujah. So that's like a relief. It's a relief to know that we don't have to wait till the very last second to go somewhere. No, it's not in Franklin. That's a bummer. However, it is like right on the very, very edge of Spring Hill. So there's this one really busy like vein of cars that is in Spring Hill that we always have to go through every time we go to Franklin. And we bypass the majority of that, like by living where we'll be living. So that's amazing. I mean, we go like right into the bottleneck, but it's not a very long bottleneck at that point. It's a smaller bottleneck. So we are very excited. I think it's actually technically Spring Hill, but it's like also, it's like some weird city limit thing where it's like Thompson Station, Spring Hill, it's somewhere in there. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to just have a little bit of like something that we can count on coming, and it's gonna be good. So one thing that's been in my mind and in my heart lately has been how I've got this album that's coming. I'm in April, or basically a month away now for me going into the studio, and I just keep thinking about how these songs are meant for the body of Christ to soak in God's presence. And man, I just can't wait for people to hear these songs. Like I know for myself, when I think of these songs, I imagine just like sitting in my room and, you know, laid out before the Lord and just like forgetting what time it is. You know, there is such a purity, I believe, in these songs, and I truly cannot wait to get them back from my engineer and producer. Like, I know that I'm like pretty sure they're going into production this week because of the conversations I had with them last week. So pretty exciting. I might even get to go into the studio, since it's, you know, in Nashville and we're in the area. May even get to go in there and really sit down with my engineer and just watch the process of making my songs. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that. Hopefully we'll get some footage of that. I'll get to show you guys. So a new development to our faith walk has truly been all of this with my health. And the reason is because to get my body where it needs to be health-wise, I gotta eat extremely clean and like quote-unquote top shelf, high quality everything. I'm not talking about alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, but just, you know, really high quality stuff, organic. And that is hard because not because I don't want to. I certainly want to eat that way, but because it's like, well, I have to eat that way, but my family, like, it's a hard spot to be when you know what everybody needs to do and you know you want to implement that, but your finances do not reflect the ability to do that. And so I'm truly just sharing this, like, to just give the reality of our scenario. And then the other thing is really figuring out like how to really get my body in a place of like being able to heal. I learned some new things this year. First of all, your mind and emotions and everything can be stuck in fight or flight, or your body can be stuck in fight or flight. Hi, Ben. Bye. So I did a ton of work. My mind my emotions, all of that are not stuck in fight or flight. I'm actually like doing really well. Like I did some super intense like heart work this past year, like before we ever even moved out here. I was seeing a therapist, highly recommend seeing a therapist, and we did some like deep work, right? But what's cool with that is now this understanding that I'm not emotionally, mentally stuck in fight or flight, but my body is. So that's a bizarre loophole, because usually it all goes hand in hand. But right now I'm like, no, I'm actually fine. So it's pretty bizarre being in this scenario where I got some physical stuff that's unrelated to my emotions for like the first time ever. It's a good place to be, but it's also strange. So anyways, all that to say, what we've been doing is very much like we're both working, we're both trying to make it work. Obviously Josh is doing way more than me as far as like monetarily speaking, but right now we've had a lot of conversations lately about like I need to pull back on some things because my physical body is just like no. And it's this idea of like staying in my lane, but that means I have to let go some of the ways that we've been making money. I'm like, I have to let go of that right now because it actually like stresses my body out. I can physically see signs of my body like stressing when I do these things. And so it's like basically like one thing, but that, you know, puts some pressure on Josh, and the Lord is providing. But that's where it's like, okay, this is a faith walk because I can't do what I want to do to help provide. Josh has to really, you know, be that main guy right now. And I'm grateful. Like, I'm not even mad about that, but it is like, okay, Lord, clearly if I can't do this, that means that there are other ways that money has to come in. Like, if I can't help in the way that I have been, the money has to come in a different way. And so, you know, even if it's like a job, which would be so thrilled about, like just for Josh to have the right job. Yeah. And part of that, what we're doing right now is actually Josh started doing coaching, which is awesome. And so, yeah, so we're hoping that that will really get going. Sounds like he might have a client even after just one day. I'm looking for clients myself, but yeah, crazy stuff. Another thing that is really exciting is that we got invited to go to basically like it's not a party, but like a release party kind of night. It's like a worship release night. At the Franklin Prayer House. Is very limited seating, and we got invited by a friend of ours who is part of the group, and he was like, you should come because there's other people who are essentially like doing what you want to do and at the level you want to do it. And I'm like, yes. So we're gonna go. We arranged it with Steph for tomorrow night for her to take the kids so that we can just go and like be a part of that. Fingers crossed. Who knows? God knows.
Hello, outside world. It's nice to meet you on the interwebs right now. When I was doing trash duty the other night, so I met a gentleman. He was outside. He just got home. He's a mechanic, so I started shooting the breeze with him because this kid actually was talking to me outside the deck, and she's like, hi, Daddy. And I was like, I'm not Daddy. And at first, I had my headphones in thinking it was one of my kids. So we started talking, real nice guy. And so he said, he's like, I'll do stuff on the side. And I was like, you do? I was like, you're my guy. I was like, so this is the issue. Starter, I think, not a mechanic, so like I don't know for sure. It's like explaining. He's like, yeah, it should be. He's like, well, if you get the starter, he says, I'll help you switch it out. So real nice guy. And I was like, I'd like to learn. Teach me. Would you mind helping? He's like, no, I wouldn't mind helping at all. So I bought a starter. Praise God, we had financial provision for that. And then so with this guy helping me, he's like, I only charge you, I'm gonna charge you $30. He said, you crawl in there with me. He says, we'll just help. And so
amazing.
So amazing, because like a shop, and though they are worth their labor, it's like it's significantly more than $30 to do shop labor. And sure enough, he to put it in, and
Josh
Fired
is the friendliest man I've ever met.
Yep. Pays to be friendly and nice. So if you're not nice, you should stop it and actually be nice.
Here's some of his provision tools. I got a rake, shovels, some more tool things, and the truck. And this is the reality of our lives.
I have to haul rocks for a previous job because I didn't have room and whatever. So now it's like I have to store my mower on our deck until we get all the rocks done.
Oh yeah. We will not complain like the Israelites wandering around in the wilderness.
That's right. I've been complaining too much. I'm gonna shut my mouth. And you know what's also good? We're not homeless. So despite this, homeless is being homed is a good feeling.
So true.